Want to know why so many millionaires go broke and what you can learn from their mistakes? That's exactly what we're about to find out. Hey there folks, Money Jim here, your money pal. Pro athletes, lottery winners, singers and celebrities, I'm sure you talk to your buddies about what you do with that kind of money they got. Here's the shocking truth. For a whole lot of them, their millions ain't nothing but a first-class ticket to going broke. You know, even though they earn millions a year, it's reckoned 80% of NFL players and 60% of NBA players go bust within a few years hanging up their jerseys. They make several times what most folks ever earn, live a lifestyle most of us can only imagine, and then, poof, all gone. But it ain't just athletes, it's plenty of lottery winners, singers, rappers, celebrities. So why does it all happen? Well, oftentimes it's what experts call sudden wealth syndrome. It's the shock to your system when you go from pinching pennies to rolling in dough overnight. Imagine that. One day you're worried about next month's rent, the next you got millions in the bank. If you don't know how to look after your money though, because you ain't had the experience building it up over time, that wealth can become a weapon of self-destruction. And nobody proves that better than lottery winners. See, most jackpot winners lose their money after 5 to 10 years. And one study found about a third of them eventually declare bankruptcy. Take the story of a fella named William Bud Post, who won the Pennsylvania lottery. At the time, he had a grand total of $2.46 to his name. Within weeks of winning, he bought a restaurant, a used car lot, even an airplane, even though he couldn't fly it. The real trouble were the people around him. His landlady who lent him the money to buy the ticket sued him for a third of his winnings and won. His own brother hired a hitman to try and kill him for the inheritance. Can you believe that? Because of how much he spent, Post ended up totally broke, got thrown in jail for firing a shotgun at a debt collector, and later said he was much happier before he won the lottery. Money, without knowing how to manage it, can be a curse. It makes your own bad habits 10 times worse. Remember NBA Hall of Famer Allen Iverson? Over his incredible career, he raked in over $200 million. Yet when he retired, Iverson had already gone flat broke. In a court case, he even told his ex-wife he didn't have enough cash for a cheeseburger. How did that happen? Well, again, spending too much. That's how. He had an entourage of up to 50 people, dropped tens of thousands a night at strip clubs, bought brand new clothes for every road trip instead of packing a bag. The story goes, he once forgot where he parked his car, so just went and bought a new one. It was a financial black hole not even $200 million could fill. But even Iverson weren't nothing compared to the baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson. Iron Mike earned over $400 million in his career. That's about $700 million in today's money. In 2003, he filed for bankruptcy with debts of $23 million. Tyson's spending was as ferocious as his punching. He blew millions on mansions he never lived in, cars he forgot he owned, and even pet tigers that cost a fortune to feed and keep. He even spent over $2 million on a bathtub. On top of that, Tyson got tangled up in lawsuits and divorces and ended up spending his final millions on drug rehab. But even Mike Tyson's spending habits looked like child's play compared to this last example. The king of pop, Michael Jackson. He earned about $500 million during his lifetime, but when Jackson died in 2009, he left debts of over $500 million. His Neverland Ranch, his own private amusement park, cost millions of dollars each year to run. Several lawsuits and a divorce cost him tens of millions more. He splashed the cash on Bentleys, art and antiques, diamond gloves, even chimpanzees. And to top it all off, he was supposedly paying debt interest of $30 million a year. Ouch. Yet today, Michael Jackson's estate's out of the hole and worth over $2 billion. Just shows what can happen when the overspending stops and the money's brought under control. You ever heard of lifestyle inflation? It's when your earnings go up and the spending shoots up to match it. Thing is, when the music stops for all these folks who got rich all of a sudden and there ain't no more money coming in, it can be mighty hard to ease up on the spending and go back to living a more modest lifestyle. So what a lot of them do, they carry on spending till there ain't nothing left to spend. A lot of winners get a mountain of cash in an instant, but then that's it. For pro athletes, their earnings don't last long neither. The average career in the NFL is just over 3 years. It's why some folks joke NFL actually stands for not for long, and it's only about 5 years for an NBA career. They get a flood of money when they're young and plenty spend like there's no tomorrow. But come retirement, no more paychecks. And if you ain't prepared for the money to stop, disaster's pretty much guaranteed. So why do millionaires go broke? Because they spend like billionaires. If folks get rich all of a sudden, most times they ain't learned the value of that money, so they don't respect it. And they don't realize even being a millionaire don't mean unlimited wealth. And if you put all that together and you spending money faster than it's coming in, or the money dries up, there's only one outcome. And you know what that is? Broke. That's why. So why do ordinary folk go broke? They spend like millionaires. If you ain't learned how to look after your money, you burying your head in the sand over your overspending. Or worst of all, you trying to look rich when you really ain't. Well, then the same thing's gonna happen. Broke feels where you headed. What it all comes down to is this. There's a world of difference between making money and keeping it. Without the know-how, without the discipline, and without a budget, even a fortune can slip through your fingers faster than you realize, leaving nothing behind but an empty checking account and probably debt. But it don't gotta be like that, and it ain't actually hard to keep your wealth and keep it growing. If you know how, all you gotta do is get yourself educated about money. Make a budget and stick to it. Lucky for you, I got plenty of videos on budgeting right here, so go and get yourself all clued up so you don't end up like those folks who went from riches to rags.